It's not an accident that our adverts have got humour in them, and it's not an accident that humour kind of trips onto the Famous Grouse Experience. So hopefully that comes through, and we're about to rebrand the site actually again to bring it in line with the current set of adverts and the website and all the rest of it. But it's not an accident. We want that humour to come through in our staff as well. It's really important that they have that banter with the visitor, because like I said, they're there to have a good time. What else? This is the partnering that I was going to talk about that sort of sets us apart, but actually I think really adds value to our visitor attraction. We have a fantastic relationship with the guys who work at Glenturret Distillery. They work alongside us, they make the whisky. That's what they do, there's 5 of them. Brilliant guys, I call them the Bothy boys. Now, they could sit there and do their job, make whisky, put it in barrels, put it in the warehouse, and pretty much be, shut out the visitor. That's fine, that's their job. They don't. They have a really, really strong relationship with them, and they are quite happy to engage, and actually the visitors love it because they get a chance to see a guy in an overall, he's throwing a barrel around, and they get to find out little stories of them, and it works, it really works. And I don't ask them to do it, but to have that, they understand the value of that. And I think that's where, that's an asset which I don't pay for, I hasten to add, because it's a different part of the business, but it's such an important asset to me. And we've now taken that further from our tours, and we actually now have a warehouse number 9, which is actually going to the warehouse, do a tasting, nosing and tasting, and we've actually involved them to actually help deliver that. And they've kind of opened up their backyard, if you like, and let us go into it and play around in their backyard. It's fantastic. Whisky school, my distillery manager guy who makes the whisky, Neil Cameron, fantastic guy, he now takes a one-day whisky school. Again, it's not his job, and he actually finished at 1 o'clock on a Friday, but he'll quite happily stay there all day and give 4 or 5 people a real behind-the-scenes chance to see how we make whisky, and again, some of the stories. And SMB have put there as an example. Scotland Means Business is something that Visit Scotland run. I don't know if you're aware of it or not. They were with us at Glen Eagles on Wednesday night, with us on Thursday, doing a whole bunch of games. And again, Neil put his hand up and said, you know what, if it helps, I'll happily do the tour today, because I know that will add value. I'm not saying my tour guides couldn't do a fantastic job, but you recognise, you bring out the big guns, and all of a sudden, people recognise that, and they say, wait a minute, I've got, like having a master blender there. It's a real special thing to have someone like him there. And they were just wowed. I couldn't believe the applause he was getting as people went around on his tour. Multi-skilling, I've talked about this already. Skills transferable, flexibility in the workforce. It keeps the staff fresh. They're moving around different departments. They're working functions one day, working the bar the next, working the shop another day. It's so important that they are, working around the place and have an understanding how different departments work. It just helps them understand when there's a hot point, why that might be happening. I haven't talked about the brand very much, but it's a very important part of our business. We have a parent company, we have brand team there, we have a PR team who work very heavily, but it's about reining in that opportunity and helping them to help us. So the Black Grouse, I'll come back to it, I knew I said I would at some point. Black Grouse is about to be launched. There's an advert coming out this Christmas time, you'll see it on the tellies, everyone waits for the adverts at Christmas time for the Famous Grouse. So the advert's going to point everyone towards the website. Who fulfills the website orders? We do. So all of a sudden we get a national campaign and we're not paying a penny for it. But we're working very closely with the team to make sure that we are fulfilling that. Now, if we don't fulfill it and we let the team down, that will fall back on the brand team. So it's a full circle. You help us, we help you. But it pushes footfall to our site, our website, and hopefully it will drive sales as well. A lot of the prizes the brand team run push people to our websites. We give free tours. We fund that, but it gets people to my site and it gets the whole thing working. Externally, we do an awful lot of work. This is coming to your question about external ones. A lot of partners, we have looked at doing things with other distilleries. We've sat down with Tullabarden and Dewars and all the rest of it. It just didn't work out because we were going to be giving and everyone else was going to be taking, because we are the most visited distillery, so it kind of didn't work out for us. But we still do partner with other people like Great Scotland, which is castles, hotels in the area, so Murray's Hall, Glams, Scone Palace. So that's all in Great Scotland. We market together. We go to events together, we sell ourselves collectively, and we go and represent Great Scotland, everything that's great about Scotland. It works. It means we get to go to trade fairs we wouldn't otherwise be able to afford to go to. We were talking about some of these things. You can't afford to go to everything, but if you're sharing it between 10 or 12 partners, you suddenly can. Glenturret Estate, we work very heavily with Glenturret Estate. We take people up onto the moors. We're about to launch potentially Moors in the Tours in the Moors with Glenturret Estate, working with them. Got to be very careful we don't sort of overstep the boundary there, but it's just working with them. Visit Scotland, SMB, I've already spoken about that. But again, they're out advertising Scotland. Wouldn't it be great to be part of that? And we are part of that, so we are very much hand in hand with them. And they now come to us as a venue. They're happy and they know that they'll get consistency in experience. So That's one. Timbers Tours, we were actually up for a thistle with them this year for collaboration. They already came to us. They're a bus company work out of Edinburgh. They wanted to expand to Glasgow. They're a bit like Rabbies. They have coaches. Rabbies are a customer of ours as well. Coaches of 16 to 29 people. And they decided they wanted to go into Glasgow, so did we. So we agreed to collaborate, and we've actually got branding now on their buses, which is brilliant. But they now come up to us, and they're going to be part of this Tours on the Moors, hopefully, working with the next people, which is RSPB. So all of these kind of guys, it's absolute transparency. These are people who are competing against us. A good example, the top one, Great Scotland, Crieff Hydro's in there. They have a fantastic couple of restaurants. We have a restaurant. We're competing head to head in Crieff. There aren't that many good restaurants in Crieff. We just accept that, do you know what, we're going to leave that alone. They're going to push hotels and conferences. We're going to push distillery, and let the customer decide who they want to go and have lunch with. Which, you know, that gets around some of that problem. RSPB, fantastic, and black grouse. Every bottle of grouse, black grouse you buy, 50p goes to the RSPB. So it helps us, helps them. And now if I tell you we're a charity as well, so actually every time you drink a bottle of grouse, you're actually giving money to charity. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that feel really good? Sorry? Is that right? Well, 50p, so, and that's around the UK. It's now in Sainsbury's, and it'll be in all the multiple retailers after Christmas. But actually we're going further than that, so we're actually looking to work with them and get one of their member staff on our site to really help people understand the conservation link between grouse and moors and what the work the RSPB is doing. So again, going a bit further and really looking to see who you can collaborate with. Have I hit on top?
Keith has black grouse.
A few of us do, but we've got a big project about black grouse, a huge project.
Okay.
Black grouse, etc. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk afterwards.
I can see a link.
Good. I like. Well, there you go. But you wouldn't have thought that, would you, initially, perhaps? So it's, you know.
I thought about it, it's okay.
All right. Good. Perfect. All very, very important, and we're looking to always grow those. We're actually looking to try and do one with Stirling Castle just now as well. So it's always just trying to build those links and keep it moving. How do we get great staff? I've spoken about this already. Spotting good people. Look at the ones who can, you know, show potential. Those who have ambition. Those who actually, you know, as soon as they walk in the door whether they're going to fit in your business or not. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. I don't have to go through all those HR questions to find out whether the person's going to fit or not. You just know. Work on your gut feel. Developing good people, give them an opportunity, show them, you know, let them see where they want to actually develop into. They may have been recruited for one role, but actually they may want to go on to another role. We actually do a skills gaps analysis with all of our staff, and we ask them personal development. Where do you see your skills? Where would you like them to be? How important do you think they are to the business? And, you know, where's the gaps? And very quickly we can see where those opportunities may be. They may even know themselves. We do look at, you know, having mentors and coaches. It's quite loose in the business, I hasten to add. I don't sort of say, here's a mentor for you 4 people. It's very much a case of, you know, if someone says to me, can you give me a bit more experience in this? How do I get more experience? We'll try and give them that opportunity around the business. We listen to people's ideas. It's not all top down. We have a scheme called Speak Up, where we encourage and actually we really push. And in Germany, they actually force their staff every day to come up with an idea. It's kind of a different mentality. If you don't, and you don't do it repeatedly, you actually get disciplined. We can't do that here in the UK. We wouldn't get away with it. So, I quite like the idea though, because it forces people to think about it. And it might just be a case of, do you know what, I'm going to wear socks that match today because it means that you know, it means that I'm going to look good in front of the customer. It doesn't have to be a mind-blowing idea. But Speak Up, great, because we get some fantastic ideas from staff who are out there talking to the customers, seeing what they're saying, and feeding it back into us that I might not get.
Are they rewarded for that?
Yes, they get an incentive. It's not huge. It's a voucher for the shop. But it's enough for some people. It's amazing what motivates people. Well, part of the launch of exceptional customer service philosophy, we actually asked people what motivates you, and I was thinking it's going to be money because we don't people enough in the tourism industry. I thought they were going to say money. It's amazing how many people didn't. It's self-fulfillment, it's customer experience, it's seeing a smile on the customer's face, it's knowing you've done a good job. Yeah, a few said they wanted more money, of course they did. A few said sack management, of course they did. So you know, you expect that, and that's fine. How do we keep them? Regular reviews. This is all the corporate stuff you probably talked about today. It is important, and it's important, but what's more important is how you use it. So rather than just doing it for the sake of doing it and filing it and saying, yep, we've done that and HR are happy now, it's what you actually do with that and how you then develop it going forward.